In the annals of ancient wisdom, there exists a timeless tale that has captivated generations with its profound lesson on the nature of true friendship. This classic fable, known as a tale of two travelers and a bear, is often attributed to the legendary Greek storyteller, Aesop. It weaves a narrative that puts the bonds of companionship to the ultimate test when faced with unexpected peril, through the harrowing experience of two friends. This story imparts a moral that resonates across cultures and centuries. Misfortune is the test of true friendship. Our tale begins on a warm summer's day, as two close companions set out on what they believed would be an ordinary journey through the countryside. The sun shone brightly overhead, casting dappled shadows through the leaves of the trees that lined their path. The friends chatted amiably, sharing stories and laughter as they made their way deeper into the heart of a dense forest. Little did they know that their carefree excursion was about to take a dramatic turn. As they rounded a bend in the trail, their cheerful conversation was abruptly silenced by the sudden appearance of a massive bear. The enormous creature stood directly in their path, its dark eyes fixed upon the two travelers with an intensity that sent chills down their spines. In that moment of sheer terror, the true nature of their friendship was laid bare. One of the travelers, overcome by panic and driven by an instinct for self-preservation, acted without hesitation. With agility born of fear, he scrambled up the nearest tree, his fingers grasping desperately at the rough bark as he pulled himself higher and higher. Within seconds, he had disappeared among the dense foliage, leaving his companion alone to face the approaching danger. The other traveler, now abandoned and acutely aware of his vulnerability, found himself in a dire predicament. His mind raced as he realized the futility of attempting to outrun the bear on his own. In a flash of inspiration, or perhaps desperation, he recalled an old piece of wisdom he had once heard. Bears, it was said, would not touch a dead body. With no other options left, the traveler made a split-second decision that would determine his fate. He threw himself flat on the ground, face down in the dirt and leaves that carpeted the forest floor. There he lay, as still as stone, holding his breath and silently praying that his ruse would be convincing enough to save his life. The bear, curious about this strange turn of events, lumbered closer to investigate. The traveler could feel the vibrations of its heavy footsteps through the earth, each one bringing the beast nearer to where he lay motionless. The bear's hot, musty breath washed over him as it lowered its massive head to sniff at the seemingly lifeless form before it. For what felt like an eternity, the bear examined the traveler, its wet nose nudging and probing from head to toe. The man's heart pounded so fiercely in his chest that he feared the bear might hear it, betraying his desperate deception. Yet he remained perfectly still, not daring to move a muscle or take even the shallowest of breaths. After what seemed like hours, but was likely only a few minutes, the bear appeared satisfied that the man posed no threat or interest. With a final snort, it turned away and ambled back into the depths of the forest, leaving the traveler trembling but miraculously unharmed. As the sound of the bear's retreat faded into the distance, a tense silence fell over the clearing. Slowly, cautiously, the traveler who had hidden in the tree began to descend from his leafy sanctuary. His feet touched the ground, and he approached his companion, who was now sitting up and trying to calm his racing heart. A nervous grin played across the face of the tree climber as he attempted to lighten the mood. "Well, that was quite an adventure, wasn't it?" He chuckled, his voice tinged with relief and a hint of embarrassment. "Say, friend, what did that old bear whisper in your ear? He seemed to have quite a lot to say." The other traveler, still shaken by his brush with death, looked up at his companion with an expression that was far from amused. The gravity of what had just transpired weighed heavily upon him, and he found no humor in the situation. Taking a deep breath to steady himself, he replied in a tone that was both serious and tinged with disappointment. "As a matter of fact," he began, his voice low and measured, "the bear did give me some advice, and it's counsel that I intend to take to heart." He paused, meeting his companion's gaze directly. "He told me never to travel with a friend who deserts you at the first sign of danger." The weight of these words hung in the air between them, heavy with implication. The traveler who had hidden in the tree felt the sting of shame wash over him as the full impact of his actions became clear. He had abandoned his friend in a moment of crisis, choosing self-preservation over loyalty and companionship. Without another word, the traveler who had faced the bear alone rose to his feet, brushing the dirt from his clothes. He cast one last meaningful look at his former companion before turning and continuing on his journey, leaving the other man to contemplate the true meaning of friendship and the consequences of his cowardice. As he walked away, the lone traveler reflected on the events that had unfolded. He realized that while the encounter with the bear had been terrifying, it had also been illuminating. It had revealed the true nature of his companion and, in doing so, had taught him a valuable lesson about the rarity of genuine friendship. The forest around him seemed different now, as if the very trees stood witness to the test of character that had just taken place. Birds sang in the branches overhead, their melodies a stark contrast to the tense silence that had gripped the clearing moments before. With each step, the traveler felt a growing sense of resolve, a determination to seek out companions who would stand by him in times of trouble, not just in moments of ease. As the sun began to dip towards the horizon, casting long shadows across his path, the traveler pondered the wisdom he had gained. He realized that true friendship, like gold, is often tested in the fire of adversity. Those who stand by us in our darkest hours are the ones worthy of our trust and loyalty. The tale of the two travelers and the bear serves as a timeless reminder that the measure of a friend is not found in fair weather companionship, but in their willingness to face danger and hardship by our side. It teaches us to value those who demonstrate unwavering loyalty and to be wary of those who might abandon us when we need them most. As night fell and the traveler sought shelter for the evening, he carried with him not just the memory of his harrowing encounter, but also a newfound appreciation for the rare and precious gift of true friendship. He vowed to himself that he would strive to be the kind of friend who stands firm in the face of danger, knowing that such loyalty is the foundation of lasting bonds. And so, as countless generations have done before, we too can learn from this ancient fable. It reminds us to cherish those friends who prove their worth in times of trial and to aspire to be such friends ourselves. For in the end, it is not the quantity of our acquaintances that matters, but the quality of those few who would stand beside us when the bears of life rear their fearsome heads.